Hey, there you go. Eric, our functional farmhouse, coming at you, doing a video on how to sous vide immersion cooking 101. It's real easy. I already did one of these with my headband, and there was a water splash on the lens. So we're trying this again. So what do you need to do? Well, what is sous vide? And so sous vide, I believe, is a French word for vacuum. So you use a vacuum sealed container and you place it into water that is heated to a set temperature. So one of my setups, you can use any water container. I like this one in particular. It fits in my cabinet well. You can use a bucket, you can use a pot you already have. Step one is a container. Step two is water. This one, with this Anova heater, I need 6 liter minimum. I like to go to 8, and you can see. And then what are we cooking today? We have prime fillets that have been in the freezer for a little bit, and you just take it right out of the freezer, right in the water. And I like using the food saver bags because they're BPA and BP beef, whatever the chemicals are. Sorry, I gotta bite my hand off. But immersion heater. I like Anova because you don't need an app. You can control everything from it. Now, this is not the fanciest device, and it is a little louder than my first gen, but that one, it died. So I want to do these steaks for dinner tonight, and there are lots of different, you can do this to whatever custom you want. However you like your steaks, you can turn it up, you can turn it down. The Anova, you can go down to almost 32 degrees. So if I'm gonna just thaw meat in the water, I'll turn the no heater and I'll just circulate the water to make sure it's going around even. So I like to do, even my prime meat, I like to do at least 2 hours out of the freezer. And we usually go anywhere 2 to 3. Thicker cuts of meat are going to take significantly longer. I like doing my pork baby back ribs for 48 hours. And they're safe to eat after like 6, but there's tenderizing that occurs over time. The longer you go, and there's other food scientists and folks who have done the channel or the comparison on going longer. So you just got to fine tune what you want. Sometimes you might have a cut of meat. You want to go long. You want to break down the protein. You want it to tenderize. Sometimes you don't. This is prime filet, out of the freezer, 2 hours more than adequate. And I do not want to go too long on this. So that's where I like to do it. And then, so you sous vide and you completely saturate the meat to the exact temperature you want. We're going to finish over here on just my plain old Loge skillet, and we're going to use a high temp avocado oil. So I will see you guys after the break. We're going to get the meat out. I'm going to show you how I dry it, season it, and then we go to cast to put the char, the crust, or the more officially known as the Maillard reaction. So stay tuned. And Daddy needs a cocktail. Bang! All right. Through the power of automagic time movement and multiple cocktails, you just saw that little speed up dealy bop. Chef is ready. So first thing we're gonna do, sous vide.
Chef is ready.
So steaks are done, but we need to get our cast going. And we need our oil. We need this to be screaming hot. So we're using avocado oil as one of my choices, high point. And if it ain't smoking, it ain't ready. And how much do you use, Eric? I don't know. How's your pan? I got it. This is a 10-inch Loge. I want enough oil to cover the bottom, not just in a layer, but enough to fill any voids in the steak. My preference. So I'm going to go a little heavy-handed. That was about 8 seconds worth of pouring through a deal. Your mileage may vary, but the oil touching the steak is key to the Maillard reaction being evenly distributed, and y'all will see that in a minute. So avocado oil, bang. We're going to come over here. We've been at 123 for about 3 hours. That's about as long as I want to go. This Anova, I like to unplug. And again, 123, that's 3 degrees hotter than our hot water. You can reach in and pull this out. So that's what it looks like. These have been in there, so I'm going to show you where we go next. So we're going to, the trash can being open is not relevant to you, but we're going to trim the top of the bag off. We're going to throw that down, and I'm going to drain off the liquid, and this liquid is known to be cellular moisture. There's no blood. When they slaughter an animal, they bleed it. And blood is majorly a part of the circulation system. Yes, there are things in our muscle tissue, but this is not blood. That is liquid. And then I'm just going to pull these out, and I'm going to place them on a paper towel, because we are going from a liquid environment to a boiling oil environment, and we want to minimize splashing and whatnot. So we're going to flip these over a couple times. This is a double paper towel. These don't have to be like desiccated dry. I want to get the big moisture off. These flare up in the pan because there's fat. This stuff starts burning off.
What are these?
This is a prime beef tenderloin we bought in whole from Costco. So these were at 123 degrees. You stay there, Mommy. These were at 123 degrees. I want to get my ThermoPro, and let's see where we are. So these have been at 123 according to the Nova. For 3 hours, we're at 120 internal here. 122 on this thicker piece. So
yeah,
what y'all can do what y'all want, okay? So the steak, you can do what you want. As I've been getting older and more mature, am liking more medium rare to medium meat, even on something like this, because the intermuscular fat is rendering in there. So we want to dry this off, do a couple rolls. This is in real time. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to jettison the paper towels. And then I'm going to come over. So this has been going about since we started. So I'm going to hit these kosher salt, y'all. Kosher salt. If you're not cooking with kosher salt, you're not cooking. It's a thicker, lighter consistency, where regular table salt just it doesn't do the jam. So we're going to give these a good coat. Not too much if you want to zoom in, Ma, so you can see what we got going on. Just a good layer, not too much. I'm not going to pat these. That pepper's too thin. We bought Costco finely ground pepper, and it's too thin. So I'm going to hit it with this fresh ground. I like a thicker pepper. And y'all can season your steaks how you want. This is not, I prefer, if you're doing prime, for me, salt and pepper, that's it. If you have to add any other seasoning, I don't do garlic powder on prime. I feel that's a lower, there are different cuts of meat. I want to taste the meat. Salt and pepper only is my jam. Again, you can do what you want. I'm just showing you what I'm doing, and this is what I like. I've been doing this for years, and my family really likes this meal. So
yes, we do.
We'll stick that. And just for the record, this is not sponsored in any way, shape, or form. I keep multiple Kinder's products on the island. So I use the blend. The blend goes on so many things. It doesn't go on my prime, especially my prime fillets. My burgers, every time. So you can see, maybe you can see this is just starting to smoke. This isn't hot enough. And I want this to get rolling. Now, if you want to pan up, so we had this hood custom built. by a friend of ours who we met through drinking cider. Do I have any of this? I think I have some of this cider. Oh no, we moved it all. We moved it to the other fridge. Anyway, Dave Carr, amazing. One of the best metal fabricators I've ever seen in person, ever. If you want to pan up, we bought this insert, and if you look at these interfaces, he built this hood completely from scratch from Carol's sketch. They manufactured these faux rivets from bolt heads, and he did the cold rolled black steel to go with our black stainless appliances. And he these 90-degree radiuses are freaking flawless, y'all. So we have a 1500 CFM. I have dual 8-inch vents going up through the roof. So I can evacuate. I don't know if this is registering, but this smoke is completely going up, and you can see how much oil we have up here. We cook at home. So this has been on for a couple of minutes, and I'm gonna get my timer. I've done this enough times that you don't need to see this just now. So I like to use a stopwatch app. I like to do these steaks a minute per side. The hotter you cook a steak, the less it translates into the meat. So there's science behind all this, and the slower you cook it, the more heat penetrates. So we're screaming hot now, and I'm gonna stick these bad Larrys on. We are gonna go bang, bang, and bang. We're gonna do 1 minute, and when I flip them, y'all are gonna see the Maillard reaction, what is normally referred to as crust or char. There's a scientific term, and it alters the protein structure on the surface of the meat. So this is a time for chef to have a brief moment, have a sip of beverage if you prefer. If you don't, that's fine too. I'm not telling you how to live your life.
Can I have my beverage?
Camera gal needs a beverage.
I do, thank you.
So we're venting this. Bang, we are at a minute on the timer. And look at that. This one is perfect. This one could use some more, but if you look at the sides, you don't want to overcook. We want these on the rare side of medium rare. So you gotta hit it. That's where getting the pan hot to begin with gives you that perfect crust. I don't have a salamander. If you want steak, you can do steakhouse. You know, I'm not going to start naming names. I don't want to be quoted for any kind of thing. We got a couple of good ones here in the county. In our county, it's about 4 million people. People buy some steaks. So I don't like going out with people. I like eating at home. And you can do this at home every time if you don't deviate from the script, y'all. Again, you can do it however you want. I'm showing you how I'm doing it. So bang, we are at a minute on each side. These are kind of squared. So I'm just gonna flip them over on the side. And once I get to the sides, I don't do it for a full minute. I do it a lot less because again, I want to get the color. I want to get that color in here. I don't want to get cooking. So the steak's already cooked as we validated with the Thermopen. We're at 121, 119. I want to get that temperature. So that is the goal of this. So there we are, y'all. Steaks are done. They've been finished, if you will. Now I've got this pan of oil. So I'm on septic, and what I like to do is grab a nondescript can out of the recycling, and I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to pre-start my hot water. turn the burner off too, y'all. So I'm going to take my hot oil. I don't recover avocado, and I am going to try to pour it into this pan. Now we got the hot pan, so we're going to clean this bad Larry off, do a rinse. And even with this silicone thing, y'all, with that steam, that is hot. So we're going to stick this bad guy back on here. That water is going to flash off. And we've got a perfectly clean pan ready to go on the next one. So we've got our steaks. We're doing steak frites with the side. We've got this mushroom cheese deal I'm sticking in the broiler right now. That's going to go in for 3 minutes. And I got my frites over here in the Breville Jewel. And these are already cooked. So we're going to serve all that up together once this cheese broils over. And that's the long story long on how to make primo steak at home sous vide 101. Might seem hard, might seem intimidating. You need a bucket, you need water, you need a heater, and whatever meat you want to cook that's in a bag with no air in it. There you are, y'all. We will see you on the next one. We're going to be eating good tonight, Martha.
Yes.
Here we are plated up, y'all, and looking good. French fries in front, finished steak in the back. Here we are, y'all. This is the money shot, perfectly done, and there it is. Y'all don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.